Hey, YouTube and Twitch right now, using this crazy service called StreamYard, trying it out, and so far it seems to be working pretty well. If I'm live, if you're seeing me, I didn't announce this video, I didn't post it on Facebook or anything, so if nobody's with me live, no big deal. But what I'm going to be talking about is extreme productivity and this audacious plan that I had at the beginning of 2021 to write a book a month. So how has it been going? Well, it's been going pathetically because I've only written 3 books at this point, and I got 2 more in the hopper. But I have a system. So I'm going to explain the system. But first, I just want to talk about this idea of extreme productivity. So I'm really into productivity and time management, trying to get more done in the day. And there are a lot of resources I use for this, tools that I go back to. I'm a big fan of Tony Robbins' Time of Your Life. I'm a big fan of Ari Meisel's Less Doing podcast. And there's a few books like How to Get Control of Your Time in Your Life that I like. And I'm sure you have your favorite sources for time management tips and so forth as well. But for me, it's really all about the day-to-day. It's about getting up and focusing and avoiding the distractions. There are too many distractions. There's too much social media. There's too much dilly-dallying. There are too many things that are so seductive that are going to take us away from our goal. And it takes an almost superhuman level of focus in this day and age to really focus. So when I embarked on this plan to write a book a month in 2021, part of that was simply to give myself some accountability, to be better about time management. Life gets in the way. I had some obligations come up. I had to move to a totally different city. That certainly took some time away. But my plan was simple. My plan was that each book was going to take about 4 to 5 months to write. The first month would be, well, month 0 would be just plotting. If it's a novel, it would be plotting. If it's a nonfiction book, it would just be outlining. Then month 1 would be rough drafting, which if you've read any of my books or watched any of my videos, you know that I'm a big believer in the rough draft being crappy. The rough draft should be something you just poop out and you do it as quickly as you can and you just get it on paper or in the computer. And then the second month is editing that rough draft, which is much easier, for me anyway, than rough drafting. For most writers, this is the case. It's easier to have something in front of you and edit it than it is to come up with something from scratch. So you can get through a whole book in a month. Rough drafting, you're writing maybe 2,000 to 3,000 words a day. Takes me about 2 to 3 hours. There are all sorts of techniques for doing that faster. You can do dictation. You can learn to type faster. And again, the focus on making sure that the rough draft is crappy really helps you go faster. But in the editing phase, you can go faster because it's just easier to focus. You don't have to generate any brain power. You're literally just smoothing out what you already have and fixing it. And then the third month is my month for sending the book to beta readers so they can give me notes back. And that's also a month when I implement the beta reader changes and start recording the audiobook. And that's part of my proofing process. When I record the audiobook, I notice a lot of mistakes. So that's generally how I fix errors. And then the 5th month is releasing the book. So stagger that. And in month 1, you're rough drafting a book. In month 2, you're editing that book, but you're also rough drafting the next book. And then by month 5, you're rough drafting a book, you're editing a book, you're doing beta readers on a book, you're recording audio on a book, and you're releasing a book. And so if things proceed, you're doing a book every month. And so yeah, so far I have only written, as I said, 3 or 4 books. The last couple have yet to come out, and I've got some new ones in the hopper. And things are really slow, but I'm a big believer in shoot for the moon. And even if you miss, you're still among the stars. Because yes, 12 books in a year is audacious, and there are many authors who do it. I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they just have no other lives, or they outsource everything and they don't clean their house or take care of people, friends who need help, or go to the DMV. Like, I don't know how they do this. Legend has it that Isaac Asimov wrote all day and just stopped to eat, and his wife would make him a sandwich, and he did that all day, and then go to bed at night, get up the next morning, do the exact same thing. But in my estimation, even if you make that audacious goal, and you can't be Isaac Asimov, you can't do a book a month, doing 4 to 5 books a year, still pretty good, still pretty good. So I'm not disappointed. I take things as they come. A recent productivity book that I'm a big fan of is 4,000 Hours. And the basic theme of that book is that we shouldn't try so hard to manage our time. We shouldn't try so hard to compress so much work in the time we have. We should enjoy our lives and spend time doing things that we enjoy and not worry so much about being productive. And that's partly what this quest is about for me, because I enjoy writing and I want to do it more. So structuring it a little bit like this helps me. So as pathetic as my output has been this year, I have high hopes for 2022. I've got a lot of new books planned. I've got a lot of book series planned, and a few more nonfiction books in the How to Write Funny series planned. So stay tuned as I update you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and one of the reasons why I haven't posted a lot of videos on YouTube is because of all that writing I've been doing. It's very hard to stay focused on the writing and still do the other things. So that's a continuing challenge as well, being able to move from one thing to another and fit everything in the day. I'm going to try to get better at it. So again, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you later.